thanks to the supporters of channel member Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh, boys and girls, it's the second round of the FA Cup against a team below us in the league. This feels like quite the opportunity to make some money and solve the biggest problem we've faced in the entire series. Hello and welcome to part 87 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have that FA Cup second round tie away against Chester, and then we'll be facing Cheshunt in fact we won't, that's the FA Trophy. Northampton in the league. What a double header. Since you were last with me, we're not top of the league anymore. As you can see, we have lost a couple of matches. We lost to Barrow, which was frustrating, and then to Wigan, who are now top of the league, which was more expected. We also drew against Blythe, and I was a little bit worried we were having a wobble, especially because we'd recently lost against Shrewsbury as well. But we seem to have got ourselves back on track. Last couple of matches beating Morecambe and Salford, which leaves us fourth in the league. 5 points behind top of the table Wigan, but they do have a game in hand and a superior goal difference. Remember, one of the hardest leagues in world football to get out of the National League. Just the one automatic promotion spot, and then 6 teams going into the lottery of the playoffs. So we need to find, if we're gonna be happy and comfortable, we need to find a way to finish top of the league. It seems unlikely, so we might just need a lucky season, and we've got to decide, is the luck more important in the FA Cup now or the playoffs at the end of the season? Long term, probably the FA Cup if we get the right draw. So, Football Manager gods, can we win this match and then get Manchester United away in the third round, please? We'll worry about the rest of the season afterwards. In fact, I'd be happy for the rest of the season to be close to a write-off. We're just supposed to avoid relegation this year. 50 points would be the target for that. We're already on 39. So if we got, here's the deal I'm making with the FM gods. We win this match, we get Manchester United away in the next round, and then just win 3 more matches over the course of the season. That's fine. We'll get promoted next year, but we'll fix the money stuff first. I think that's a reasonable plan, because an away game against a big team like United, that's worth £1 million. Can you imagine? Can you imagine adding £1 million to that kitty? It would be life-changing for this football club. But for any of that to happen, of course, first of all, we have to beat Chester. And also, just recap a couple of transfers. Just one transfer, in fact. Stepney Damon has left the club. We gave him a 3-year contract in the summer and then didn't start him at all. He came off the bench 13 times and was so upset about it, he was willing to go to Worthing on a non-contract. Gave up a 3-year contract for a pay-as-you-play deal with Worthing. That's how upset he was. So, fair enough. Gets him off the wage bill. Works for me. Let's go beat Chester. It's Perini in goal. A back four of Towner Folks, Yoshihama, McCormick and Baitup. Murray at the base of the midfield. Scowen and Kenny ahead of him. Scanlon and Kelleher finally fit again to play together out wide. And Brown is up front. Arguably 2 of our most important players, Wiles and Edgar, both got tired little legs, so they're on holiday at the moment. On holiday for a hugely important match. This is why we can't gegenpress, boys and girls, because even playing this system, we aren't able to rotate enough or rest our players enough to not have to send them on mid-season holidays for hugely important matches. So we're not going to be gegenpressing this year, I don't think. But what we would like to do is beat Chester. So if we could do that, that would be super duper, because I would very much, after building it up the way I have, like this FA Cup third round. And that is brilliant work from Scowen. And again, this is wonderful from Scowen. Oh, he just didn't have the finish. That was incredible work. Blaine Scowen has been forced out onto the wing again for most of this season, gets back into central midfield today and looked like prime Steven Gerrard there. Apart from the fact he wasn't able to apply the finish. But that was brilliant. Won the ball back in his own half when he had no right to do it. Went past 2 men. Just where was the finish when we needed it? But wonderful work from Scowen. This is why he is quickly becoming one of my favourite players of the entire series. Because remember, he was part of that National League South team where the likes of McLennan and Best were the standout players. And Scowen was just one of the numbers. I think I was describing him at the time as a non-league James Milner, just handy to have around because he can play everywhere. We've got promoted, and the stars of that team, they've not made the step up. There's no one else in this 11 who was with us when we were in the National League South now, apart from Scowen, who has managed to just go from strength to strength. And it's not that he's this exciting young teenager either. He's 26 years old. He's been with us 4 years. Goodness me, do I like that player. Reminds me, for those of you who've been around for a few years, of what's his face from Nuneaton, Tom Elliott. Very much reminds me of him. He struggled to find a spot in the team for years. We played him wing backs and all sorts, and then eventually became the hero who got the goal for us in the playoff final to get us into the Football League, playing in central midfield. The future's bright for Scowen. The future might be less bright for us, though, because we've gone 1-0 down against Chester. I assume, based on that deal I've made with the Football Manager gods, if they are knocking us out of the FA Cup today, which feels harsh, I assume we're getting promoted as champions. I think that's the other side of that deal. Surely. Right, we've got some tired little legs. Scanlon and Callagher, not really fully fit. We'll bring Young on. Murray's going to come off for Robinson. We're also going to bring on Larkin up front for Brown, who's not had a very good game at all. And that was Brown trying to get something going but failing. I'm again leaning towards playing Brown and Larkin together because they're both closing in on double. They've certainly both got double figures for goal contributions this year. Brown more of a goal scorer. Larkin creates as many as he scores. But I think there'd be a great partnership. I'm just afraid of weakening the midfield by playing two up top, especially when we have been playing as well as we have been. But this is going to sting. We're so close. We're touching distance. I don't even want to know who Chester get in the next round because I think it's only going to upset me watching them get the draw that would solve all our problems. Kenny's going to come off, and I mean, got him, haven't we? Really, get Tom Best on. Get these boys up top together. Has Tom Best got one more hero moment in him? Probably not. But we're throwing on the pitch just in case he has. And I guess we need to get Hayball on for similar reasons. Get him on there, playing as a complete wing back on attack. Just throw everything at him. Come on, chaps. We need an equaliser here. We're going very attacking as well. And just cross everything. Let's have one last Tom Best hero moment. Scowen plays it forward looking for him, but doesn't find him. And it's going to be Chester with the counter-attack as we're committing a lot of men forward. And Young now chasing back but can't get there. And I think they're going to score here, and they do score here. And I said it was going to sting. It really does sting. We're a better team than this lot. And I think we've just maybe got a little bit ahead of ourselves. Maybe, in retrospect, sending two key players on holiday just before this match was a little silly. But again, officially, the party line is the league's more important. So with 2 cup games back to back, it made sense to send them on holiday now. Makes a lot less sense now seeing that that's happened. I thought we could take care of Chester without them. Apparently we couldn't. Right, we'll play the FA Trophy game off camera. I'll be back for Northampton. If I look sad, it means Chester got the draw we wanted in the next round of the FA Cup. Oh, well, we snuck past Cheshunt in the FA Trophy on penalties, so the road to Wembley for this year is still officially open. If that ends up being how I get back to Wembley, that is a cop-out, but I'm, looking at calendars thinking, maybe winning the FA Trophy is the one. We've also, in very exciting news, Evan Rowlands, our backup goalkeeper, the subject of 3 huge transfers, £20,000, just shy of our record transfer ever. At the moment, it's the £7,000 we got for Craig Laycock, who is now available. Could we bring Craig Laycock back? We probably shouldn't. We definitely shouldn't. But £20,000 puts us back in the black. Plus, getting his wages off the wage budget brings us close to being inside wage budget as well. It does leave us with only 1 goalkeeper, which when we only had 1 goalkeeper last year did lead to a player mutiny. But that feels like a problem for future, Kev. For today, let's just take the money and worry about the implications afterwards. This is the team for the game against Northampton, which becomes even more important. Now Chester have moved above us in the league, and we are starting to drift off the pace in this promotion race that we were never supposed to be in. But remember, I made a deal with the FM gods. We're winning the league now, presumably. So it's Perini in goal, a back 4 of Towner Folks, Yoshihama, McCormick and Baitup, Murray at the base of midfield, Scowen and Edgar returning from his little holiday ahead of them. Wiles is still on holiday at the moment. Scanlon, Kelleher and Brown are the front 3. Let's go beat Northampton. If I manage to lose all my FA Cup dreams and lose against Northampton in the same episode, this will be a very sad day for me. And I don't like sad days. We've got a corner here. It's bait up, looking for the near post. And we haven't got Wiles there to finish it. We had Yoshihama in there, but Yoshihama's only 5'10". Scowen, was that supposed to be a shot? Okay, it took a deflection. It's gone behind for the corner. We're going to have another go from the other side, and it's going to be Towner Folks now to hit the in-swing. I think we're aiming far post this time. We are. Scanlon was under it. Edgar's in there as well. And unfortunately, nothing comes from the early excitement. If you are wondering about Chester in the FA Cup, Burnley away. It's not going to make them £1 million, but it's probably going to make them 300,000, I imagine. Burnley are 5th in the Championship, one of the bigger Championship clubs. What's an attendance at Burnley? 20,000 maybe? 200 or 300 grand there. It would sort us out for a year or two. So that's upsetting. Almost as upsetting as the fact Northampton have just scored against us. And I'm starting to get a distinct feeling that the wheels are coming off. And at least, I mean, we're the halfway point of the season. At least we've got the points on the board early. We were never realistically looking to get promoted this year. We're trying to avoid relegation, and we're most of the way there already. So if the wheels come off a bit for a little while, it's not the end of the world. We'll probably still finish mid-table. And if we can then add a couple more of the likes of Scanlon and Kelleher in the summer, maybe start to make it a thing where we can sell players for £20,000 plus, we might just find a way to become self-sustaining in the National League. That's a long shot. And from there, you're in a much stronger position to push on. He hopes. So 1-0 down at half-time. I think it's time to try something. We've been training. We're pulling out the gegenpress. And we're going to do it with Larkin and Brown up front together. And we're going to see what happens. We're going to go attacking on a gegenpress. Connor Edgar can't really play the position we're asking him to play. But that feels like, in fact, Edgar's probably the one who should come off. Where was I? No. Come on, Kev. You've played the game before. So, yeah, if we take Edgar off for Larkin, swap those two over. Swap those two over. Go attack him. We want you attack him. You can be on support. Needs must. This is the first time in the entire series we've done any gegenpressing, I think. Let's see how it works, shall we? We've certainly been the better team so far. It's Scowen with the long throw. Yoshihama, the centre-back, just running it around on the edge of the area. If he'd have stuck that in the top corner, the amount of people would have given me the gegenpress is OP nonsense. That would have been nothing to do with gegenpress if he'd have scored there. That would have just been a moment of individual genius, but it wasn't to be. I'm going to demand more from the boys. We've been so far ahead, a better team in this game. It's just not really working out for us. Scowen struggling in the position he's playing in as well. I mean, he's Blaine Scowen. We know he can play anywhere. But for now, let's bring on Logan Kenny, stick Scowen up on that left-hand side and do that. And then we've got one more substitution to make if we need it. Hopefully we won't need it. We're going to grab a couple of goals now. Come on, gentlemen. Do a football, for goodness sake. Won't somebody do a football? Larkin and Brown, this is the first time they've played together as strikers. It's not working the way I hoped it would. Scowen with the longish throw. Tries to find McCormick, misses him completely. Luckily, Towner Folks is there to clean up the mess, and Scowen plays it into Brown. Brown shoots from range. What a goal from Liam Brown. Goodness me. Yes, do a cartwheel, young man. Do it. You deserve 2 or 3 of them. What a stunning goal. That is one of the best goals we've scored in the entire series. Wonderful stuff from Brown. He's just hit that first time and it has thundered into that top corner. And with 10 minutes to go, we're staying on attacking. We're going to keep gegenpressing. We're going to try and win a football match. Young's going to come on in midfield. And come on, gentlemen. We're playing Northampton. If ever there was a time to do a big turnaround, it's today. We've been the better team. We deserve it. Brown's having another pop from range. He's hit the inside of the post and Scowen is there. Did he stay onside? I can't even see the lines, but I think he has. And we've turned around a 1-goal deficit. Brown has been absolutely instrumental in it. Scowen couldn't have happened to a nicer guy grabbing what should be the winner. We've dropped back down to our positive mentality again. And what a difference a gegenpress makes, eh? You can't, I mean, we were the better team before then. It might have happened without, but I think using it sparingly like this, might be the answer. We've been training it since the summer. They know how to do it. We know we can't do it all the time, but maybe drop it in sparingly might be quite a handy tool to have in the arsenal. And yeah, another player needs to go on holiday now because we just can't rotate. This is what happens when you gegenpress, boys and girls. So Yoshihama now I'm going to send him on a 3-week holiday. Off you pop. His centre-back partner's not even back yet. This game we've got coming up against Worthing's going to be a mess. We've got no defenders, but that's for future Kev to worry about. For now, we're back up to 5th in the league. We're only 5 points behind Wigan. Halfway point of the season, we'd have bit your arm off for that at the start of the year. Same again, lads. Let's get ourselves into the playoffs. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.